Dear students, lecture exercise comes from practice, and we want you to do that. We want you to learn, do your practice n number of times. And if you really, all of you, the boys and girls, if you practice at least 30 to 40 of deliverance of the words, a deliverance of some thought process, a lecture for 3 minutes, you would become a good communicator. Communication is very important for leadership. So all your expression in terms of your thoughts, in terms of your psychology, will be represented by your words. So do that. Now I will give you a small demonstration of the candidates, how they improve themselves. So hope you will learn from this and do it yourself. Thank you very much. Jai.
Good morning, everyone. The topic of my lecture is humanitarian crisis in Gaza. As we all know that Gaza is the part of that area of Palestine which is under the control of Hamas. And today the whole geopolitics is revolving around the Middle Eastern part of the world, where in Gaza the news of every day thousands of people are being replaced from their homeland, and there seems no end to the war. Talking about the Israel-Palestine issue, we all know that Israel is on the mission of capturing the Palestine, that is the West Bank and the Gaza. And we all know the history of Israel, that Israel has always been an expanding state. And this issue of Israel-Palestine dates long back in the history, where Palestine initially which existed, but Israel was created after a revolution within the Palestine. And after that, over the years, Israel has turned into a bigger state, and Palestine has only remained in the two areas, that is the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. Talking about the crisis in Gaza. Today in Gaza, as already mentioned, that several of peoples have been displaced from their homeland. And as there seems no end to the war, this has created a good amount of number of refugees that are now going to different other countries in the world. So in a way, this issue has also started a refugee crisis in the whole world. On the same lines, in the International Court of Justice, countries such as South Africa have started a movement against Israel on the ground of humanitarian crisis. There are several other things that are not taken care of, such as we know that no proper supply of food, medical, as well as the essential goods has been taken care of, and all the people are in complete despair. Talking about the stance of India on this issue, India has always put forward his ideology of not in a war situation. Our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has always said that this is not the era of war. Therefore, India would continue to help the Palestinians in trouble, but would also continue to put forward the motion of not an era of war. To conclude, I would like to put forward that Israel has, as a few months ago, Israel agreed on a partial ceasefire where some relaxation were given to the Palestinian civilians. So similar thing should be taken care of, and in the whole war, the civilians shouldn't be the one to suffer. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. The topic of my lecture is humanitarian crisis in Gaza. As we all know that Gaza, which was initially under the control of Hamas, was always a zone of conflict in the whole geopolitical arena. And today, in the geopolitics circle, today the news of Gaza has always been a major news that has been the center of attraction. Talking about the Israel-Palestine issue, Israel-Palestine war began almost a year ago, and it has continued till now, and it seems a never-ending situation. Today, the whole situation, the number of civilians that have died there, and as well as the number of civilians that have been displaced from the situation, has no counting, and all the things are in complete despair there. Initially, if we turn back the pages of history, we find that Palestine was the only state that existed, but Israel was created within the Palestine after a revolution. But after that, Israel continued to expand, and Palestine has now only in some corners of the whole area. Today, talking about the present situation, Israel wants to capture Palestine completely and to evacuate or to remove Hamas from the area. So in such situation, the civilians are the major sufferer. They have been suffering a long time, and there seems not an ending to this thing. Talking about the second crisis that has emerged among the people is the humanitarian crisis. Today, a good amount of people have been displaced from their homeland and they are fleeing to different other countries, which has begun a new problem, that is the refugee problem. Talking about the humanitarian crisis, countries such as South Africa as well as other like-minded countries have begun a motion against Israel in the International Court of Justice to not only bring into the notice of the whole world the humanitarian conditions, but also the lack of basic essential supplies, medications, food essentials to the people of Gaza. Talking about India's stand on the situation, India as a country has its renewed efforts to control the situation. For the same, we have also sent medical aid as well as the essential supplies to the people of Gaza. However, as per our diplomacy, we have never been into the situation of war in such arena, and as the same thing has been said by our Honorable Prime Minister, that this is not the era of war. To conclude, I would like to say that Israel should also take care of the civilians in Gaza, keeping in mind all the pros and cons of the situation, and the civilians should never suffer. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning everyone. Today my lecture topic is AI bots. AI bots are technological softwares that has the capacity to solve the problems. It can be a complex or simple problem in very less time. So if we talk about the times when AI bots were not there, people were getting very difficulty on solving the problems, and also the time management was a major one. So after the involvement, or we can say after the introduction of the AI bots, the time management of solving the problem has been reduced to very much. Now the other point is the types of AI bots. There are various types of AI bots, like if we can say that the one is the hybrid AI bot, which can both solve your problems and also generate pictures or videos. Another one is the voice, or we can say voice AI bot, which generate your voice. And next one is the picture AI bots, or the videos AI bots. These are some of the famous AI bots. Now other one, the benefits of AI bots. Now the benefits of AI bots are all over sectors. Are like, if we talk about the finance sector, it reduces the risk and also enhances the management of the finance structure. And if you talk about the medical sector, it is now helping very much in medical sector also. Now the major one is the education sector, because it is not only helping the students but also helping the teachers also in developing the way of teaching, and by making students or giving the students more practical thoughts. And the challenges that are in front of the AI bots are, as we know that there are a large number of, or we can say there is a large number of data in AI bots. So a privacy could be there in the AI bots because we give personal information there. So the other challenge we can say is first one is the privacy, and the second challenge that is in front of the AI bot is the employment. Because of the introduction of the AI bots, the employment is severely reducing in many sectors. Now on conclusion, I would like to say that AI bots are now developing very rapidly, and they are becoming more sophisticated now. So they are also helping various persons in various ways. Thank you. Good morning everyone. Today my lecture topic is AI bots. AI bots are computer software programs that has the capacity to solve the human problems, whether it is complex or simple, in a very easy manner. Now, earlier times when AI bots were not there, people were getting very difficulty in solving their problem. And if they are getting harder problem, they are taking very much time for solving the problem. So after the introduction of the AI bots in the human field, the time management has been becoming very in good manner for the peoples, and they are also using AI bots very much for their open problems. Now, if I talk about the types of AI bots, there are various types of AI bots. The major one, like hybrid AI bots, that has both the ability to solve not only the problem but also generate pictures, videos also. And the second one is the voice AI bots. Now it generates the voice of the persons. Other one is the picture and video AI bots that generates the image and video and fake videos of the persons. AI bots are something that uses natural language processing. They use the person's own language. They understand the questioning language of the person and try to answer them. And they also help the person in deep learning. Now AI bots are helping persons in every field, and nowadays, like if we talk about the finance sector, it is helping in reducing the risk and also in the management of the finance. Now second one is the healthcare sector. It is also very helpful in healthcare sector nowadays. If we talk, whether we talk about any kind of therapies or anything, now the major importance can be seen in education sector also. Like if we see that not only students but also the teachers are using AI bots. For example, the students often use ChatGPT, which is an advanced language model that is developed by OpenAI in December 2020. So the persons are the students are using ChatGPT very rapidly or very often for solving the problems, and teachers using this for the more practical way of approach to students. Now if I talk about the major challenges that the AI bots are facing today is the privacy, as because the person are giving major personal information to the AI bots, so the privacy must be provided to the person.
Good morning, friends. The topic for my lecturate is mental health in the digital age. In this topic, we are going to discuss about the points like new challenges for the mental health. The mental health of the, as we all know, that the age that we are living in is a digital age. So we have to live with the technological things that are present near us for the 24 hours. But we can limit these hours of our we can limit our hours to some less extent and help ourselves. The mental health of these the mental health of the people in the digital age is deteriorating as per the news that we are seeing in nowadays, but it has positive effects as well. The digital age includes the information that are present on the internet. So the information on internet can help a person become wise as well as knowledgeable in various fields. He can gain knowledge and get to know about various things and can implement them in the life, as well as can try to be a better human being. There are various type of social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook and YouTube. For example, in recent times, an Olympic javelin throw player has tried to play javelin with the knowledge that he gained from the YouTube of the javelin. So we can say that there is a positive effect of these technological advancements. What we can do is that we can limit the time of the screen time, that is the time we use our mobile devices as well as laptops and tablets. The limiting of these devices can help us and to socially involve with people, as well as to have better mindset. In conclusion, I'd like to say that the mental health is not only positively affected by the digital age that we are living in. We should focus on the positive effect of everything and not only on the negative part of something. There are various things that are helpful in the digitalized world. Thank you. The topic for my lecturate is mental health in the digital age. The era we are living in is a digital era. We can't be misplaced from the technological advancements that are present in between us. So we have to live with it. The mental health of people is having positive as well as negative effects of the digital era. We know that most of the people nowadays spend their time with the mobile phones and devices, and they don't like to interact. But we can also have a positive side of this, that many people are trying to interact with various n number of unknown individual, which can help them in the speaking skill as well as communication, as well as get to know more about their culture from where they belong. The technologies is moving fast nowadays, so we have to live with it. The effect of the technology is having a positive as well as negative effect. The negative effect is that we all know that in previous times the people who weren't having the facilities like mobile phone used to interact and have conversation face to face, which would affect their knowledge as well as skills. Nowadays the mental health of the people is totally dependent on the digital devices that is present in front of us. He can gain knowledge as well as he can exploit himself from the knowledge and the resources present on the internet. Internet is a vast field. It can help a person become knowledgeable in various fields, but a right use of the internet is also necessary. So what we can do is we can limit the screen time as well as we can limit the entertainment hours of ourselves. Many people have a tendency to entertain themselves by watching various type of movies and series present online, but there are many who try to gain knowledge from various YouTube sources and get knowledgeable about various geopolitical issues as well as other things. So we all know that technology is getting vast day by day. So in conclusion, I'd like to say that we should be using these technologies in a very good manner, so that we can have a better effect on our minds and have a better understanding of various things in the field which we don't have knowledge about. Thank you.
Good morning, friends. Today my lecturate topic is rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting is a process of collecting the rainwater and save it for the future uses. If we see that it has been using from the thousands of the year for its benefit, for it the potential of beneficence of rain conservation in the water prone cities. If we see that the another point, the why rainwater harvesting is important. Rainwater harvesting is important for the citizens, as if we use the rain harvesting water, it helps in the economical factor also, as well as in the environmental factor, in which it minimizes the risk of the floods as well as the erosion. If we talk about the another factor which helps in the rain harvesting, it also helps the people in reducing the cost saving and helps in minimizing the water bills, especially in the cities where the water is very expensive, and also help in the water conservation, in which rain harvesting helps the people reduce the reliability of the people on the municipal supply water chains as well as the ground sources. If we see to the next point of what are the challenges, there are the many other challenges, in which some of the challenges are the initial cost. Using harvesting system, it requires an initial cost which is costly for the normal human to implement in their houses or in the areas also. And if see other challenges, if the government has implemented the rain harvesting system, it requires a maintenance, regular maintenance, so that the efficient work can be done by the rain harvesting system. And the another challenge can be faced by the government or the people, like making a good quality from it. As we know that the rain harvesting system requires maintenance, so to improve the quality of the water which can be used by the people in the various purposes, such as the drinking purpose as well as in other household purpose also. If we see that the another point is government initiative. The government has also applied so many initiative, has taken initiative to maintain the harvesting systems regularly in the advanced cities also, and developing the more harvesting system in villages also, so that the people can can use the future water also. If I like to conclude that rain harvesting system can be the one of the best solution for the upcoming problems such as water crisis. We see that in the Bangalore, the people are facing the water crisis situation, which also help in rain harvesting system helps the people to cover up the water crisis system and help the people. Thank you. Good morning, friends. Today my topic is rainwater harvesting. The rainwater harvesting is a process of collecting rainwater and saving it for the future uses. If we see that this process has been using from the thousands of the year due to its the potential benefits for the water conservation and toward the area which is prone to the water. If we see in the history, Harappan civilizations peoples also uses the rainwater harvesting systems so that they can save themselves from the water crisis situation. If we talk about the benefits of the rainwater harvesting, it helps the people in water conservation, which helps the people in managing the water for their future uses and reduces the reliability of the people on the municipal supplying water and the ground sources also. Another benefit which we get from the rain harvesting system is cost saving. It also helps the people in reduces the water bills, especially in the area where the water are so much expensive. Rainwater harvesting also helps in environmental effect also. It reduces or minimizes the risk of the floods in the areas, as well as reduces the risk of the erosions, also flood prone areas. If we talk about the challenges, there are so many challenges which come to apply or prevent to apply for the harvesting system. First challenge may be the initial cost. To promote or to initialize the harvesting system, it requires a quite cost which is costly for the normal people to apply in the house or the areas. The another challenge can be faced by the person is maintenance. To having a proper rain harvesting system requires a regular maintenance so that the quality of the water gets improved. And the another challenge also the quality control. As we know that the rain harvesting system requires a quiet maintenance, which so that the quality of the water gets improved and distributed to the people. So to maintain the quality, it also requires the cost for the maintenance. If we talk about the government initiative, there are so many initiative has been taken by the government. Like the government has properly maintenance their harvesting system in the country, in the another state also, and maintaining the harvesting system also. If I like to conclude, harvesting system can be the one of the best solution toward the water crisis, upcoming water crisis situations also. The major countries are using harvesting system to save themselves from the water crisis situation. Thank you.
Good morning everyone, myself Aradhya Malhotra, and the topic for my lecturate is Atmanirbhar Bharat in the defense sector. As we know, India is a developing country, and for a nation like India to be developed, it needs to be self-independent and self-reliable and capable. Although we have a friendly relations with major powers of the world like America or Russia, and we often tend to do import deals with them, but we also need to be self-capable to become the developed nations and a superpower among other nations. As we talk about the present situation in India, India has done a commendable work. If we talk about the Atmanirbharta in defense sector, if we talk about the tanks such as T-90 and Arjuna, which are being created by India and is also in current use in the Indian Army, Or if we talk about the missiles such as BrahMos, which is made in India, which is made by the collaboration of India and Russia, and is also named after the river Brahmaputra in India, it suggests the power and the intelligence that India has produced in the field of defense. If we talk about the steps taken by Indian government, we know that the Indian government is continuously striving, and our current Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi is continuously promoting the Atmanirbhar Bharat scheme. It also means that the products which are being made in India, whether in the field of manufacturing or whether in the field of defense, they need to be more encouraged and more patronized by their work. We know that the Indian people have got the brains, and we know that the Indian people are at a step back, which are in the terms of facilities and the budget. If we talk about the current budget, we know that the defense budget majority of portion goes to the salaries and the maintenance of army. But if we talk about to improve the more self reliability in the defense sector, the budget can also be one major issue that could be improved, and that could also help a lot. So yes, if we talk about what more need to be done, as we know that India has done a major commendable work in the field of defense. But if we talk like the fighter jets which are being imported from France like Rafale to India, we can also do one thing, that we can try to make fighter jets in our own country, and we could also promote the manufacturing of various defense schemes in our country. If we also want to make our country self-reliable and self-capable, we need to encourage the young talents in India. So to conclude, I would like to say that India does not lack the talent, or India does not lack the opportunities to make themselves self-reliable and self-capable, but one needs to recognize those talents, and one needs to identify and appraise that talents. Thank you. Good morning everyone. Myself Aradhya Malhotra, and the topic for my lecturate is Atmanirbhar Bharat in the defense sector. As we know, India is a developing country, and for a country like India to be developed, it needs to be get self-reliable and self-capable. We know that India has got the talent to become self-reliable and self-capable, and it has also done various themes and projects in the field. We also know that India has good and friendly terms with major superpowers of the world like Russia, and we also tend to seek their help, and we also tend to help them in case we need it. But we do not want to forget that we need to be self-capable, and we want to become the next superpower. If we talk about the work done in the field of defense sector and making India Atmanirbhar, we can also include the examples like the tanks of T-90 and Arjuna, which have been made and manufactured by India and are currently being used in the Indian Army. If we also talk about the major remarkable things done by India, we can talk about the BrahMos missile that has been manufactured by India with the collaboration of Russia, and it has also been named after the river Brahmaputra, which tells the remarkability of India in the defense sector. We can also add to the point that India has done majorly well in the sector of defense. If we talk about whether in the army field, or if we talk about whether in navy field, if we talk about navy field, we will surely talk about the INS Vikrant of the Indian Navy. And if we talk about what else needs to be done in the Indian defense field to become more self-reliable and capable, we will surely talk about the budget scheme of India. As we know that the current budget scheme of India provides a heavy portion to the Indian Armed Forces, but majority of it goes to the maintenance and salaries of the officers. If we want to improve the Atmanirbharta in the defense sector, we can also do one thing, that we can increase the budget to a certain extent so that more research and development can be done in the field of defense, and more young talents come up so that we could praise and we could recognize those talents. As we know that India never lacked the rise of such young talents, but what need to be done is to recognize them and to patronize them. We need to encourage more and more such young talents so that India can not only become Atmanirbhar in the defense sector, but it can also be the next superpower of the world. Thank you.
Good morning everyone, myself Krishak Joshi and today my topic is generative AI. We know that as per we have developed our technology, we have been through so far that now we are able to use our own AI generatives programs. Now AI has developed so that it can operate its own by taking some operations by clearance. So first point is, what is generative AI? Simply, generative AI means an AI program which can operate itself, which can develop some issues, which can develop some problems and which can erase it out by its own. Okay, benefits of generative AI. Simply, generative AI brings benefits in a lot of sectors. If we are talking about medical sector, if we are talking about blocking, if we are talking about food chain securities programs as well, we can bring a lot of sectors more. I'm talking about manufacturing, I'm talking about business marketing as well. There are a lot of sites which can develop their own products by using AI. We can talk about fashion designing as well. We can use AI to bring back-to-back concepts and to bring education hubs also. And we have seen so far that AI is, if we are talking in our personal uses also, there are so many companies who are bringing AI as their mentorship. So after benefits of generative AI, if I'm talking about challenges of generative AI, we are so dependent on it. And if I'm talking about today's date, we are so dependent on AIs that lots of companies deal with any of the program with the help of AI only. After the challenges of AI, I think there are a lot of issues, a lot of concerns that we have to deal with it in AI only, that there are so many workers and because of it we are facing unemployment in a lot of countries such as India and other developing countries which needs labor work. And by it, since we don't have that literacy rate, many of the children, many of the youth are not so active and not so updated with AI programs. So AI also is the reason of unemployment in India especially, and as it is bringing the updates, as it is bringing the technology as well, so we have to consider on it as well. After it, I would like to conclude by saying both positives and negatives of anything we are facing on, but at last I have to say that the positives are more of AI and the negatives, if somebody is facing problems in AI generation, it means he have to be reliant on the programming which is going right now in our country. Thank you. Good morning everyone, myself Krishak Joshi and today my topic is generative artificial intelligence. If we are talking about back in times, people didn't have a lot of employment. Lot of companies were facing manufacturing problems because of unemployment. They didn't had workers and all. But talking about today's date, every company has its own sector of AI by which they can develop their own programs, and by it they can face a lot of profits in their sectors. Talking about in today's date, in today's generation, we are too dependent and we are too reliant on AI functioning all as well. Talking about not in manufacturing sectors, but also in medical sectors, medical line, and talking about AI systems in other companies such as Google, which has developed its a lot in AI sectors, and talking about Microsoft and all. They are gaining so many enhance in their particular sectors, and talking about youth, educational hubs are getting more and more advanced because of AI functionings. Youth are gaining so many examples, so many examples, and by it they are clearing their old doubts and they are enhancing their studies and they are getting advanced and advanced to computering knowledges. And after that, according to, if I'm coming to the experts' opinion, we are so reliant that in AI functioning in today's date also, we are facing a lot of problems such as unemployment today as well. Lot of youths are not focusing on chats and ChatGPT's functions, and ChatGPT is also a hand of AI. By it, we are seeing that generative AIs are getting more and more advanced, and because of it, the world is enhancing itself. In sectors such as manufacturing, and I've talked about development of country. If I'm talking about bridges and all, the designs and patterns which are generated by AI and the operators are also getting enhanced by day by day. If we are talking about development of countries such as critical bridges conditions, and if I'm talking about railway projects are getting more and more advanced by it. In today's date, there is not such responsibilities and there is not such reliance on other employees so that they will take a leave and then we are going to do such works. We are going to use our AI workers, we are going to use our AI hands. And at last, I would like to conclude, everything has its own benefits and negatives, but we have to focus on what AI is bringing towards our next generation. So by it, I would like to conclude, I would like to wrap my lecture. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Good morning, everyone. Myself Aditya Raj Singh, and today we are going to discuss about ChatGPT. ChatGPT is an advanced language model that is developed by OpenAI in November 2022, and is considered the best AI chatbot. And as we know, our world is getting technological day by day. So AI is also getting into play. And when we talk about artificial intelligence, ChatGPT comes into our mind. Now, ChatGPT work on the GPT 3.5 architecture, which means that generative pre-trained transformer 3.5, which is based, and it works on the vast data that is already existing over the internet. Now, what is ChatGPT? So ChatGPT is an open language model that is developed by the OpenAI. And when we talk about the benefits of ChatGPT, like ChatGPT gives us the sudden responses of the questions and the answers, and it gives the responses suddenly. Whatever will be the question, it gives the answer. If we are getting any queries about our medicines, like if we are getting diseased or we are having any injury, we can ask to ChatGPT, and it gives answers suddenly. Now, when we talk about drawbacks of ChatGPT, it is ChatGPT is totally based on the existing data over the internet, so it is not totally accurate. So we should not always be totally dependent on ChatGPT. Now, as we know, our world is getting technological day by day, and AI is artificial intelligence is taking place. So I think the Google it will definitely replace Google, as everyone is getting aware about artificial intelligence, and they are using ChatGPT for their not only for their educational purposes but also for their daily life purposes also. So on conclusion, I want to say that as ChatGPT is getting aware by the people, so it is going to advance the world. ChatGPT is an advanced language model that is developed by OpenAI in November 2022. It is based on the GPT 3.5 architecture, which means generative pre-trained transformer 3.5. Now it is based on the vast existing data over the internet. And now the main purpose of ChatGPT is to conversate with their users on their natural languages, so that when any user asks any questions or any queries, the ChatGPT recognizes it on their language and provide them solution of their question. And as we know that the students are now also using ChatGPT in a broader perspective. Like if they get any task, they are using ChatGPT for it, and it is making their curricular activities very easy. Now various different peoples are also using ChatGPT. Like any people, if getting injured, so for their medicinal purpose, instead of using doctor, they are simply searching it on the ChatGPT and getting the required medicines. Now, to use ChatGPT, the user simply prompt or questions the ChatGPT in their natural language, and then ChatGPT they get the answer from the ChatGPT. Now, if we talk about the drawbacks of ChatGPT, like the ChatGPT is totally based on the existing data, so it is not always that it gives accurate data always. So we should always remember that instead of using ChatGPT very rapidly, we first investigate about the topic also. Now, as we know, our world is getting technological day by day. So I think the ChatGPT is going to replace the Google also. Not surely, but there is probability that it will replace the Google, because the pupils are getting aware about the ChatGPT, and they are using it, they are knowing it, and they are getting answers very rapidly. So I think it will replace the data. Now if we talk about drawbacks of ChatGPT, like students are using it for their every purposes. So it is now removing or killing their skills, killing their practical applications skills. Now now I would like to conclude that ChatGPT is now as the world is getting modern day by day, and artificial intelligence is taking place, ChatGPT is now going to be the very useful tool for them.